Good afternoon, students. So today we are going to start our first unit of our fluid mechanics and hydraulic machines subject. Right. So already in the first two classes, I have explained some introduction, but very few students were present in the class at that time. So again, I'm going to start from the first from introduction onwards today. Since many students were absent for the class offline class. Two classes I have taken in the offline, but again I'm starting today from the first basics of the unit with introduction, and I'm going to start the first unit today. Is it audible? My audio voice is clear or not? Whether my voice is clear? Clear. Okay, right. Okay, so now I'm going to show the presentation of our first unit. Before that, okay. So in fluid mechanics and hydraulic machines, everyone know that we have our 5 units of in our syllabus, where the fluid mechanics subject is divided into 2 parts actually. Right. So our subject is divided into 2 parts. That is, fluid mechanics as our first part, and hydraulic machines as our second part. So while coming to fluid mechanics, that gives you 3 units. Fluid mechanics will be consist of 3 units. And the first unit we'll be studying about fluid statics, nothing but the fluids which are at rest. And the second unit and third unit we are going to study about the fluids which are in motion. Okay. And in fourth and fifth unit we are going to study about the hydraulic machines, where under hydraulic machines we are going to study about turbines as well as pumps. So fourth unit comes under turbines, and fifth unit will be our pumps. Different types of pumps we are going to see in the fifth unit. Okay. So while coming to first unit, we are going to see this as our topics in the first unit. Nothing but fluid statics will be our name of the unit, where we'll study the fluids which are in the static position, nothing but which are in the rest position. So under this unit, we are going to see all these topics from the first unit, right? So where we will see the units for different properties of the fluids and dimensions. For properties of the fluids, we are going to see the units and all. Next, these are all the properties which you are going to learn in the first unit for the different types of fluids, right? And what are the pressures of the fluids in different forms, nothing but atmospheric pressure, gauge pressure, vacuum pressures, different pressures we are going to learn. What are that? And at the last, we are going to see the measurement of pressure by means of these 3 measurement instruments, nothing but piezometer, U-tube manometer, and differential manometer. Okay. So while coming to second, so before going to study about fluid mechanics, first we need to know some basics about our subject that is called engineering mechanics. Right? Already we have learned this subject in your previous semesters, where you have seen problems, nothing but mechanics. What is that? It's a branch of science which deals with the uh, forces acting on the bodies, nothing but different forces. What is the behavior of the bodies when we are applying forces on them? So there we have studied about engineering mechanics. Okay, in that we have seen it is application of mechanics to solve problems involving common engineering elements, right? So we have seen this subject already in our previous units. So these come some of the engineering elements where we are going to work on different subjects, nothing but mechanics. Everything will be coming under this type of elements, engineering elements. So under which we have many things here. Just please check the screen here. You can see where we are having measuring instruments, architecture, engineering, tools, so many other things are there, where we use our mechanics as our basic subject to solve the different problems on them. Okay, is it clear? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Up to here everything is clear now. So we have seen the unit name and what are the different topics in that. And next we have seen the basic subject which we need before learning fluid mechanics and hydraulic machines. That is our engineering mechanics. Next we are seeing some engineering elements where our engineering mechanics and fluid mechanics and other topics we are going to use here solutions. And next, if you are seeing here, these are all the subtopics of your nothing but subdivision of engineering mechanics. So engineering mechanics is mainly classified into two most things. First one is that is mechanics of solids, and it is also divided into mechanics of fluids. And again, these two are subdivided in this manner where mechanics of solid, here we have two types, that is mechanics of rigid bodies and mechanics of deformable bodies. And again, these are subdivided, subclassified. Mechanics of rigid bodies are again classified there as two types, that is static bodies as well as dynamic bodies. And under dynamics, again, we have two subtopics that are kinematics and kinetics. And similarly, mechanics of deformable bodies are again classified three types: strength of materials, theories of elasticity, theory of plasticity. So this comes under mechanics of solids. And the next topic, next subheading is mechanics of fluids, nothing but our topic, mechanics of fluid, our subject. So it deals again with the three different types of fluids here, nothing but ideal fluids, viscous fluids, and compressible fluids, right? So first here for our subject, we are going to see mainly on this mechanics of fluids only. So first we need to know this, what is this ideal fluid means, right? A fluid, ideal fluid is a fluid which doesn't have any viscosity actually, but in general, we don't have any fluid without viscosity. It is just an imaginary thing we are going to assume, ideal fluid, right? Understood? What is ideal fluid is nothing but a fluid which doesn't have any viscosity. But in nature, without viscosity, we don't have any fluid. Definitely, every fluid will be having a viscosity. Right. Next is a viscous fluid, which have some viscosity, are called viscous fluids, and compressible fluids, nothing but fluids which are compressible. Like if you can see example of fluid for compressible is air, we can compress it, and some other fluids comes under this compressible fluids. And while coming to viscous fluids, it is again classified or divided into three types, where we are going to study these three in our syllabus of first 3 units. Nothing but fluid statics, fluid dynamics, and kinematics, fluid kinematics. So these are all the subtopics of our viscous fluids. Okay. Next, before going to our subject, first we need to know what is the main thing which you are going to see in our subject is fluid. First of all, we need to know what is a fluid, right? So everybody know what is a fluid. It will be either it can be a liquid or it can be something like gaseous also. Fluids, because we can tell that fluid is a substance which can flow, right? So the flowing fluids will be like water. Water can be flowing, and some gases like air, some other gases also can flow. So these all comes under your fluids. So fluids are nothing but under fluids you can see liquids are there as well as gases are there. So if you see this is the substance that deforms continuously under the action of shear force. It is the basic definition for your fluid. And one more is fluid is a substance which can flow, right? So substances that deforms continuously under the action of shear stress is also called as a fluid, right? So fluid doesn't contain, it doesn't take any shape. It doesn't have any shape. It just takes the shape of the container. Nothing but if you pour water in a container, it will take the shape of that container. Similarly, gas is also possible. It will take the shape of that containers. Okay, this comes your definition for the fluid. Right. So next slide, we are having the classification of fluids, where we can see already I said fluids are mainly classified as liquids and gases. And nowadays you can see the combination of liquids plus gases, where liquid and gas are mixed together, right? So this comes under liquids like water, gases like atmospheric, all the gases will be gases, and this one, right? So after completing this classification of fluid, we are going to see the fluid mechanics definition, right? So already I said it is a branch of science which deals with the behavior of fluid at rest as well as in motion, right? So you can see the pictures here where you can see the fluid at rest, nothing but a water in a glass tumbler. That is a fluid which is at rest. And similarly, if you see some rivers or canals, you can see fluid will be flowing in that with some motion. And you can see the water flowing in our pipes also comes under the fluid which are in motion. Nothing but water which we are taking from the tanks to our house inside through pipes. So there also the fluid will be in the motion. Is it okay, or I am going very fastly?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next. Next, this is again fluid mechanics, which is nothing but the branch of science which deals or with the help of which deals with the behavior of fluids, which may be in the rest or which may be in the motion. Nothing but we are again having this classification of fluid mechanics, that is nothing but fluid statics, nothing but where the fluids will be under rest. There will be no motion for the fluid. So we are going to study the behavior of that fluid, what is happening, how much pressures will be there in that fluid when it is at rest, and we are going to study all this in this fluid statics, which is our first unit. Next, fluid kinematics is the second type of your fluid mechanics, where study of fluids which are in motion without considering the pressure forces. We are not going to consider the pressure forces, but the fluid will be in the motion. So the study of this type of fluid which are in motion without considering the pressure forces comes under fluid kinematics. The next one and the last one of the type is fluid dynamics, where the fluid will be flowing again here, nothing but the study of fluid which is in motion, and we will consider the how much pressure forces are there for that fluids, right? So these are some things where you can see that. So pipe, water flowing in a pipe here, different, where we can see the fluid which are in motion with some forces in them, right? And here we can see water in the canal will be flowing with some force or pressure. Similarly, in the flights, if you see fluids, nothing but gas, air will be flowing with some velocities and speeds. So there will be some considerations for the pressures there and motion of the fluid, right? So these are the three types of fluid mechanics, nothing but fluid statics. So fluids, the study of fluids which are at rest is called fluid statics. The study of fluid which are in motion without considering the pressure forces are considered as your fluid kinematics. Next, fluid dynamics, where we'll study the motion of fluids with consideration of pressure forces on them. Right. So next, while coming to the where we are going to use this fluid mechanics in our daily life, generally these are the main applications where we can see, right? Where weather forecasting we can see, because in weather forecasting what we will see, how much amount of what is the velocity of the or what is the pressure of this air flowing, hot air or cold air, different types of air will be there. So that will be measured by using this fluid mechanics subject. Next, in aerospace and automobile industries, you can see, like if you see this image, you can see down, there are many weather forecastings there. Here it is showing in 5, 10, 15, 25 mm. So that is nothing but different. Something is taken here from the weather, nothing but where we are using your fluid mechanics here in this weather forecasting. Okay. Next, this is one of the application where we are using your fluid mechanics in weather forecasting. Next, in aerospace and automobile industries, also we are also using, because in aerospace, if you see, the flight should move in the air only. So that's why there we need our how much forces are there for the air and all the things we have to consider there. So there we can use our fluid mechanics for this. Similarly, in automobile industries, you can see the main thing is fuel. Fuel is also a fluid there. So there also we need something related to mechanics, fluid mechanics there. So we are going to study of the fluid mechanics in the automobile industries also. Next, turbo machines and hydraulics, where you use fluids to run these machines, like hydraulic machines and turbo machines. So there also we need the different properties of the fluid and different applications of the fluid will be there in this. So this is also one of the application of your fluid mechanics. First, we have seen the weather forecasting as your first application. Next, we have seen our aerospace and automobile industry. Next, turbo machines and hydraulic machines. Hydraulics. Next. Next, in automobiles, again, we can see fluid as used for cooling of the engines, and in manufacturing also we are using as coolants, right? So here also we need to know the different properties of the fluids here. Viscosity, something, some other properties and all things we want to know for the coolant also there, so that the engine will work properly. And while machining on the machines, as the machining is done, what happens, the machine tool or the workpiece will be getting very heated, Because of that, properties will be changing. The nothing but heat affected zone will be generated on the workpiece or the tool. So there also we need to provide some coolant there. So that coolant will be always a fluid, nothing but a liquids. Mostly it will be liquids only. So here this is one of the application again. And the last one, if you see in our body also we have many fluids. Mainly blood is there, which is also a fluid which flows everywhere. So there also we can use in biomedical application also we can see the pressure, nothing but blood pressure and all it will be seen on the basis of fluid only. Okay, so these are the main applications of our fluid mechanics, right? So application of fluid mechanics is this, nothing but weather forecasting. We are going to use fluid mechanics, aerospace and automobile industry, turbo machines and hydraulics, fluid as coolant in engines and manufacturing, and biomedical applications. Is it audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Till now, any doubt is there, means you can ask now. Or shall I continue? Okay. So up to applications we have seen today. Next, while coming to the main topic, nothing but from here only, the main thing of our first unit will start. Nothing but we need to know the basic properties of our fluid, general properties of a fluid. So these are all the main, first most important properties which we need is density, or it is also called as mass density. Next, specific weight or weight density. The next is your specific volume, and next one is your specific gravity. So these are all the properties, and we have some other properties also. Before that, we need to know these basic properties for any fluid. Okay. So first property which you are going to consider as your density or mass density. Already we have studied this density in the school days only. What is the density? Density is the mass of the fluid to the volume of the fluid. Nothing but it is the ratio of mass to the volume of the fluid. Right? So it is denoted by the symbol rho. This symbol is called as rho. So what will the units of mass? We know unit of mass is kg and unit of volume is meter cube. So the unit of this density becomes, since it is ratio, kg per meter cube. So density is the ratio of mass of the fluid to the volume of the fluid. So this is the definition for your density. What is density means? It is a ratio of mass of fluid denoted by small m to the volume of the fluid denoted by capital V. So therefore, we will find the unit of this by using density is equals to mass of fluid in kgs, volume of fluid in meter cubes. So the density unit becomes kg per meter cube. So this this is our first property of fluid, that is density. Next, specific weight or weight density. So it is denoted by small w, specific weight. So it is the ratio of it is a ratio of weight of the fluid to the volume of the fluid. So weight of the fluid is denoted by capital W, which will be in Newton. Weight will be always in Newton, mass will be in kgs, right? So it is a ratio of weight of the fluid to the volume of the fluid. So W by V, nothing but weight of the fluid by volume of the fluid. So unit for weight is Newton. So directly we can find the unit for specific weight, that is Newton per meter cube. And this specific weight in terms of density also we can write specific weight small w equal to rho and g, rho g. So how we got that? So weight, you can see W can be written as mass into gravity. Nothing but weight is equal to mg, mass into gravitational constant, mg. So mg by v. So from here, if you see, already we know what is mass per volume. Mass per volume is density. So that's why we can write specific weight is also equal to W equal to rho g, density into gravity, acceleration into gravity. Right. So now if you see the units for these different things, So small w, already I said it is a ratio of weight of the fluid to the volume of the fluid. So directly units becomes Newton per meter cube. Next, capital W already we know it is the weight of the fluid. The units of that will be capital N, newtons. Volume of the fluid will be in meter cube, and density of the fluid is kg per meter cube. Mass of the fluid will be in kg. And G already all know it is acceleration due to gravity. Units will be meters per second square. Right. Later, after learning these four properties, we are going to solve some problems on this. So that's why we need to know the new units compulsorily for solving any problem. Right, specific weight is over. Next, specific volume. So specific volume is the other property of the fluid, which is defined as the ratio of the volume of the fluid to the mass of the fluid. So volume of the fluid is again denoted by capital V, and mass of the fluid is small m. Right. So if you see here, already we know m by b is density, mass by volume is density. So we can say that specific volume small v is inverse of, nothing but reverse of that density, 1 by rho. So what you get, v by m. So this gives your specific volume of the fluid. If you take 1 by rho of your that fluid, it will give the specific volume of that fluid. So where small v is your specific volume, so volume of the fluid will be in meter cubes. Students, are you able to see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So mass of the fluid is m, and the units of mass is in kgs. Okay. Remember one thing, always mass units will be kg, weight units will be Newton. Okay. Next. So these are all the different units for this different properties: volume, mass, and density. And the next, last one, which is very important throughout our subject. So specific gravity. So specific gravity will be there for fluids, nothing but it will be for liquids, as well as it will be for air, nothing but gaseous fluids. Right. So specific gravity is denoted by S, and it is the ratio of specific weight, or you can take in terms of densities also. Weight density of a given fluid to the weight density of the standard fluid. See here, weight density of given fluid. For example, I need to find the specific gravity of some liquid, nothing but some oil I'm telling. Specific gravity of oil I need. So what we need to know? We need to know the density of the oil here. For example, the density of some oil is given 800 is given 800 kg per meter cube. So we have density, and here the density of standard fluid is always taken as water. If it is a flowing liquid, nothing but liquid type of fluid, we'll take the standard fluid as water. So that you'll find the specific gravity of that oil which is given with that density. So it is the ratio of density of the fluid to the density of the standard fluid. Suppose it is oil, so density of oil to the density of water. That gives the specific gravity of that oil. Okay, any understood here? Any doubt is there? Okay, next. So specific gravity is denoted by capital S. So what we need to know? We need to know it is the ratio of density of fluids. Nothing but density of one unknown fluid, or density of a fluid which is known, and to the density of the standard fluid. So these are the things which we have to remember. So the density of the water, always it is standard, it is 1000 kg per meter cube. Density of water, it is denoted by rho W, you can write, or rho of water, density of water, 1000 kg per meter cube. And density of mercury here. Why we are taking mercury only? Because in many places for finding the pressures in pressure measuring instruments, we are going to use manometric fluid. Nothing but manometers we are going to use for pressure. The manometric fluid will be mostly this density, nothing but mercury only. Mostly mercury will be used as your manometric fluids. So that's why we have to remember this always. So the density of mercury is 13,600 kg per meter cube. Right. So one more thing, specific gravity of water is 1. Specific gravity, yes, for water is 1. Specific gravity for mercury is 13.6 here. If you multiply by 1000, you are getting this. So the specific gravity of the mercury is 13.6. And if you see what will be the units for the specific gravity, we don't have any units because it is a ratio of same thing, nothing but ratio of density to the density. So specific gravity doesn't have any units. It will be just a number. Just a number, right? If S equal to 1, the fluid is water. If S equal to 13.6, that is mercury. Okay, so these are all the 4 properties which you have seen for the fluid. So first one is your density or mass density denoted by rho. Units will be kg per meter cube. Next, specific weight or weight density, ratio of weight to the volume, or it is written as rho g. Units will be Newton per meter cube. Weight per volume. Next specific volume, it is reverse of density, so units will be meter cube per kg. It is a ratio of volume to the mass of the fluid. Next, last one what we have seen is specific gravity. It is a ratio of density of the fluid to the density of the standard fluid. Density of liquid to the density of water. If it is liquids, the specific gravity formula becomes density of that liquid to the density of water. Suppose if the fluid is gas or something like air, if you are taking gaseous fluid, which will so the specific gravity is the ratio of density of that gaseous fluid to the density of air. Density of air is nothing but 1.2 kg per meter cube. Density of air. Okay. So these are all the 4 properties. Right. Now we'll solve one problem. Please everybody note down the question there in your book. Problem on one of this. What are all the 4 properties which you learned? We'll solve a problem on that. Okay. So problem 1, if you take calculate the specific weight and density, specific gravity of 1 liter of a liquid. So here it is telling how much amount of liquid is given. 1 liter of liquid which weighs 7 Newton. Weight is also given. Capital W is given and volume is given as in terms of liters. Volume as 1 liter. Please note down the question there in some book. Okay, please note on this. Calculate the specific weight, density, and specific gravity of 1 liter of liquid, which weighs 7 Newton. Right? So first we need to know conversion for liters into volume. How will you measure volume in meter cubes? Right? So if you consider a 1 meter cube size of vessel, 1 meter cube, nothing but length is 1 meter, width is 1 meter, and height is 1 meter for a vessel if you consider, and how much amount of water can be filled in that is nothing but that volume in that. So that we can fill 1,000 liters of water in the 1 meter cube volume area. Okay, so 1 meter cube. Yes, any problem? Okay, so in 1 meter cube volume of a vessel, we can fill 1000 liters of water. If you remember this, we can convert this very easily. So 1 liter, suppose if you see, keep this 1000 this side. So 1 meter cube equal to how much we can fill? 1000 liters of water we can fill. So 1 meter cube equal to 1000 liters. But in problem, he gave as 1 liter. We need in meter cubes. So we have to convert that in terms of meter cube. So 1 liter equal to 1 by 1000 of meter cube. Okay, so this is our given data as volume V equal to 1 liter, 1 by 1000 of meter cube. Please write down this. The next weight is also given in newtons. So already we know weight of the fluid. So what are all things he asked us to find? Specific weight, density, and specific gravity of that 1 liter of liquid. Here he didn't say which type of liquid is that. So we are going to find the specific gravity of that. Okay. So first we will find specific weight of the fluid. So already in the previous slides I have shown the formulas for that. How to find the specific weight of the fluid. So weight of the fluid. Specific weight, small w, is given by weight of the fluid to the volume of the fluid. So already here weight is given to us. How much weight? 7 Newton. And volume just we have found out 1 liter equal to 1 by 1000 meter cube. So what you will get? Weight 7 by 1 by 1000. So specific weight you will get as 7000. Please write down 7000. Units of specific weight. Already I said unit of specific weight. Weight Newton per meter cube. So 7000 Newton per meter cube will be our specific weight of the fluid. Next, to find density, already is given as specific weight. We know specific weight is also rho g, W equal to rho g. So we got here already specific weight as 7000. So 7000 equal to rho into g. So this is the density which we have to find. Rho equal to 7000 divided by value of g, 9.81. Are you solving the problem, students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I am not showing the solution here. Answer I am not going to show here. Just I am giving the formula. You have to calculate in your book. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Only one voice I can hear. Whatever others.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Right. Right. So first we have found our W value. How much you got W value?
713.5.
Which one you are telling? I'm not asking
W
density,
value
I'm asking
7000.
specific weight.
7000.
7000.
kg per meter
Newton
cube.
per-
Units you have to write compulsorily. 7000 kg
Yes,
per
sir.
meter cube. Right. So after that you find density by using specific weight. Small w equal to rho into g. So specific weight already we have found out. That is 7000 divided by 9.81. If you do, you will get your density of that liquid. So what you got here? Density of the liquid?
713.55.
713.55. So what is the unit of density?
kg per meter.
Kg per meter cube. Please write on this. So rho equal to the answer which you got, 713 point something kg per meter cube. Any doubt up to now? Right. Next one. What he asked us to find is specific gravity. Specific gravity is denoted by S. Since here he said it is a liquid, so what is the specific gravity is nothing but the density of the liquid to the density of the standard liquid. Standard liquid is water always. So directly I am writing here specific gravity equal to density of liquid by density of water. Okay, already you got density of liquid here. Something. What is that? 713. So write down here 713 point something divided by 1000. So you will get your specific gravity.
0.7.
How much? 0.71.
713.
Okay, what are the units for specific gravity?
No units.
Very good. Because it is a ratio of same unit, nothing but density by density. Okay, so this is the problem which are taken on the fluid properties. Here we have found out your specific weight, density, and specific gravity of one liquid. Sorry, specific gravity also. Okay, so this is the problem on the properties. Next, we have some other properties which are very important. So properties of fluids, again we are taking as viscosity, and we need to find the units of viscosity, and one more type of viscosity is kinematic viscosity. So today we'll see this viscosity only. Just hold on a second. Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. So next property of the fluid which you are seeing is viscosity. Okay, so viscosity, if you see here, it will be different for different fluids. Okay, so what is viscosity? It is a property of the fluid which offers resistance to the movement of one layer of the fluid over the adjacent layer of the fluid. Property of the fluid which resists the movement of one layer of fluid over the adjacent layer of the fluid. Suppose if you see here, before slide, water, if you see, what happens, it will flow very easily, because you can say that there is no, or there is less viscosity, nothing but between two layers of water, the shear stress will be very less. So what happens, the water will flow a little bit fastly there. So that's why if you see this image, this is less viscous fluid. Water will be less viscous. And similarly, if you consider one more liquid like oil, nothing but our vegetable oil, normal, which we use. So what happens, if you flow oil, it will not flow that much fastly as water, because the viscosity of the oil is more. Nothing but there will be more shear stress between the two layers of the oil. So that's why you can see the difference in the viscosities for oil and water. Okay, thickness, nothing but it will be thickness. If the oil will be a little bit more thicker than your water, so viscosity will be more. Okay, so this is a definition which is very important. The 2 marks question may be asked. Viscosity is a property of the fluid which which offers resistance to the movement of one layer of fluid over adjacent layer of fluid. Suppose if you see here, here, this is some plate or some pipe, you assume, which is in the stationary, but it is not moving. This is the thing where some fluid is flowing on this plate. We are unable to see the fluid, but some fluid is flowing here. So what happens, the fluid which is in contact with this surface, so there the fluid will be almost sticking to this plate. Since there will be some viscous, some friction between the fluid particles and this plate, the velocity of the fluid at this junction, nothing but at the boundary condition, at this boundary will be 0. So this profile is called as velocity profile for different layers of fluids along the y direction. Along the y direction, if you can consider, there are different layers of fluid. At the starting point of the plate, nothing but on the plate first layer, the velocity will be 0. And if you go for the next, some height, next layer, so it will have some velocity. So if you consider here, this point I'm taking the next layer. So here the velocity of some liquid layer is u, nothing but it is flowing with some velocity u. And I'm going to consider one more layer above that with the height of nothing but the gap, or the gap between the two layers is dy. So the velocity will be little bit more. So that is u plus du will be the velocity of the upper layer, and bottom layer the velocity will be u. So why this difference will be there? Because this layer will be attached to the bottom layer. So there will be some loss of the velocity, nothing but similar to friction loss, some loss will be there here. So as you go on to the top layers, from down to up, if you go, the velocity of the different layers of the fluid will increase. So always the velocity profile for a flowing fluid will be like this: 0 at the initial, nothing but where it is touching your pipe or some plate, it will be 0, and it will be increasing up to the top layer of the fluid. So this is the thing which you have to draw when he is asking to define a viscosity. It is a property of fluid which offers resistance to the movement of one layer of fluid over another adjacent layer of fluid. Better if you draw this figure, it will be good. So here U denotes the velocities of the different layers of the fluid. Any doubt here? This image?
No, sir.
No, right. I'm going to the next slide. Okay. So these are all the terms which we have seen in the image. So what is that? U is nothing but initial velocity, nothing but first layer velocity. And above that, one more layer I'm considering, that is the second layer with velocity of U plus du. And I already said between the two layers, as it is in movement, what happens? A shear stress will be generated. That is denoted by tau. Tau is its shear stress between the layers. And what we are finding here is viscosity, which is denoted by mu. Right? So this is called as viscosity, or it is also called as dynamic viscosity, coefficient of dynamic viscosity. Viscosity or coefficient of or dynamic viscosity, both are same. And we have one more viscosity, that is kinematic viscosity. Okay, so viscosity and dynamic viscosity both are same. And one more thing which we have seen there is this one. This is velocity profile, nothing but du by dy, velocity gradient, is called as rate of shear strain. Nothing but rate of shear strain. Du by dy is called as velocity gradient, or it is also called as rate of shear strain or rate of shear deformation. Strain is almost same, not deformation. Okay, so this one is sorry. So shear stress here should be directly proportional to the rate of the shear strain. Yeah, if you see, shear stress tau should be directly proportional to rate of shear strain here, du by dy. So to remove this proportionality constant, we are going to keep one coefficient, this one, coefficient of or constant of proportionality. We are keeping that as your tau, sorry, mu, not tau, mu. So shear stress tau, remove this proportionality constant, you will get your mu, tau equal to mu into du by dy. So from this mu is called as your coefficient of viscosity or dynamic viscosity. So mu equal to what you will get? Tau by du by dy. So this is our final equation for finding the viscosity of the fluid if you know these terms. Tau shear stress, du by dy is your velocity gradient or rate of shear strain. Okay, this is the it is also defined as the shear stress required to produce unit rate of shear strain. One more definition for viscosity, which is easy for you, that you can remember. This will be the best. Is a property of fluid which resists, which offers resistance to the movement of one layer of fluid over the adjacent layer of the fluid. And it is from this, it is also defined as the shear stress required to produce unit rate of shear strain. Stress to shear strain. Right. Next, very important is units for this viscosity. Right. So here, if you see, viscosity mu equal to what is this? Shear stress. So what are units for stress? Anyone? Units for stress?
Newton per mm square.
Newton per meter square, generally mm square or meter square. So Newton per meter square, the unit of this, because from this formula we have to find the units for this. So Newton per meter square divided by what is this? Du. What is du? What is du here?
So change in velocity.
Nothing but velocity. Here you see here, this is change in velocity. Du is velocity. Units for velocity.
Meters per
Anyone?
second.
Units for velocity, meters per second. And next one, what we have here, du by dy. So dy is nothing but distance. See here, I said already, along the direction of y, layers will be having more velocities. So this is nothing but distance from the base to the top side. So dy is the distance. So dy units will be units of dy. Anyone?
Meter.
Units per distance. Meters. Okay, everything in terms of newtons and meters. So Newton per meter square divided by meters per second by meter. So if you solve these three units, you'll get the unit for your viscosity. Nothing but you'll get this. After solving that, Newton per second divided by meter per second divided by meter. Finally, you'll get this Newton second per meter square. So this is the unit of your viscosity. Newton second meter square. Or already you know, Newton per meter square is also called as Pascal, unit of Pascal. So Pascal second. And one more unit for this viscosity is poise. This one in terms of CGS units, CGS system. Okay. So one poise, this is POISE, poise. So one poise equal to 1/10th of this Newton second per meter square. Why we are learning this? Because in problems, he'll give the viscosity of fluid sometimes in poise. So the viscosity of so and so fluid is 4 poise. So what we need to convert that 4 poise into this. So what you'll get here? 4/10th of Newton second meter square you get for 4 poise. Okay. And one more thing, sometimes we'll give in centipoise. Centi, the word already you know what is centi means, century, 100. So 1 centipoise equal to 1/100th of poise. In problems, he may give the viscosity of the fluid is 2 centipoise. So what we need to do first, 2 centipoise equal to 2/100th of poise. First we have to write. After getting 2/100th of poise, again we have to convert that 2/100th of poise to this Newton second per meter square. Okay. Any doubt here? Yes.
Sir, once again.
Yes or no?
Sir, once again.
Once again, you need. Okay. Are you clear this one? Newton second, how you got this?
No, sir.
No. For this, what we have to do is first we have to know the units for this here. Viscosity already we have defined. It is a ratio of shear stress to the rate of shear strain. So first we need to know these terms. Shear stress is tau. The unit of shear stress is Newton per meter square. Please write down on a paper, you can understand. Mu equal to tau by du by dy. So first, beside tau, you write the units for tau, Newton per meter square by du units. It is velocity, meter per second. That is divided by again meter. So meter per second divided by meter. Meter gets cancelled. So the leftover things will be there here. What are the leftover things? That will be this one. Newton second and meter square will be left there. Any doubt now?
No, sir.
Okay, right. So after getting Newton second per meter square as our unit, we need one more unit in CGS system is poise. So 1 poise equal to 1/10th of this one you have to remember. 1 poise equal to 1/10th of Newton second per meter square. Suppose in problem he said it is 4 poise. So 4 poise, but you have to multiply here 4. No, 4 into 1 means 4 poise. Here also you get multiplied by 4. So 4/10th of this Newton second per meter square. You have to convert the units, that's all. Poise to what we need, Newton second per meter square we have to convert in problems. Similarly, he may give as poise as the unit, or he may give the centipoise. Centipoise means 100th part, 1/100th part of that poise. Suppose in problem is that it is 4 centipoise. So what we will convert first? We will convert that 4 centipoise to poise. So equal to 4/100th of poise you will get first. After getting this 4/100 of poise, which is equal to 4/100 into 1/10th of this one. Because if you have 4, what you did? You have multiplied by 4. Now we have 4/100. So 4/100 into 1/10 Newton second per meter square. So that gives your conversions there. Okay. So this is viscosity of water at 20 degrees centigrade. Mostly in problems, he will only give. That is 0.01 poise or 1 centipoise. What I said, 1 centipoise is equal to 1 by 100th of poise. You can write as 0.01 poise. Okay, so up to here. Today I will stop it here. Don't move now only, please. I'll take the attendance. Okay, so up to viscosity we have seen today. With units of viscosity. I'm stopping this here. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Any doubts are there? Yes or
No,
no?
sir.
No.
No,
Just
sir.
please hold on. Just give me 1 minute time. Okay. So we have seen the introduction of fluid mechanics and hydraulic machines, and under that first unit we have started as our fluid kinetics. Sorry, fluid statics, where the statics means the fluids which are at rest position, and we have seen some of the applications of our fluid mechanics. Later, what you have seen, we have seen the definition of your fluid mechanics and different subdivisions of your fluid mechanics. Those are three subdivisions: fluid statics, kinetics, and later that we have seen the properties of your